Hi there, and welcome to episode 40 of the Digital Marketing Masters. I am Yolanda Rose, and I'm a digital marketer that helps business owners like you generate leads and sales online. And this is the Digital Marketing Masters show, where every week I bring you easy, actionable tips, content, and strategies that you can use in your business to grow your business online almost immediately. And today we are stepping back from digital marketing and we're talking more about strategy. And one way we can get different perspectives of what's going out there is by reading. And I read a lot, and especially with audiobooks, you get to take in so much more information so quickly. And a recent purchase of mine has been the best-selling book by Nathan Latka, How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital. And today we're going to look at some highlights of the book, and I'm going to give you all of the lessons that I have learned from reading this book. And if you haven't read it, I'm going to put a download link in the show notes where you can grab a copy or listen to a copy on Audible, and you can do this for free for the next 30 days. So go to the show notes right now, click on that link, and get your hands on this audiobook. Once in a while, a book comes around that totally changes a generation of entrepreneurs. That happened when Napoleon Hill published Think and Grow Rich, when Robert Kiyosaki wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and when Tim Ferriss produced The 4-Hour Work Week. Earlier this year, Nathan Latka just released a book to join the ranks of those giants. How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital. After reading this book, I felt so compelled, so inspired, so deeply moved by this book that I had to mention it on the show. So one of the first lessons that I took away from this book is that Nathan Latka proves everything with facts, examples, and screenshots. Yes, I said it, screenshots. So this young man knows what he's talking about. He practices what he's talking about, and he shows us proof in this book. Nathan Latka's book is completely different from anything that you've ever read. He doesn't tell these long-winded stories and turn everything into a thinly veiled sales pitch of some sort. He spills his guts in this book, giving examples to back up every story he tells. He shares screenshots with exactly how he was able to get the incredible results in his businesses. And it was so refreshing to see, what's really working in the real world. Instead of the same old advice that all of the life coaches and business mentors are giving, this young man is on a whole other level. After reading this book, you will become a problem solver. This book is not one of those cookie cutter reads. Nathan cuts across the fluff and has a way of simplifying what so many other people make so complex. So you have to get a few sentences in before you know how the book is in your hands, a totally different experience than anything else that you have ever read. I was planning to read this book over 30 days, and I found myself reading it on one go, and that's a Kindle on one go. So my eyes took a beating, but I couldn't put it down. I literally couldn't put it down. I had to sit with a book and a pen. There's so many ideas. I had to write those ideas down, and the action plans are right there in the book. And a lot of the times you read these business books for inspiration, and they tell a story that's so unique to the writer, but Nathan Latka's book, How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital, is his complete blueprint that you can copy and paste in your very own life. If you take a stroll through Facebook, it won't be long before you see some of these guys standing in front of the private jets and the fancy cars talking about how they started a business that pays for everything that you see on the screen. But how he doesn't have to lift a finger because the business takes care of everything. The business is built. It's a great sales pitch, of course, but as Nathan points out, starting a business is not always the best option, especially if you look at the failure rates of most startups. Sometimes buying a business is a better option. So why don't more people do it? If you're like most people, you've probably been conditioned to believe that buying a business is something that only rich people do. But if you follow the process that Nathan lays out, you will see his exact process for generating over $100,000 a month in passive income from buying businesses. The best thing about this book is that Nathan Latka literally gives you a copy and paste template that you can use to buy businesses, buy real estate, and save thousands of dollars every year. But more importantly, he doesn't just drop a bunch of email screenshots and say good luck. He gives you context to every email script and conversations that you can see how he thinks about the end goal and why he writes things in a certain way. So the scripts you will get are fast, but the psychology will keep you going and help you create these situations for yourself. Now, this is a very time sensitive book. A lot of the strategies that Nathan has mentioned and is applying in his life could easily be outdated because most of it is on a digital space. So it's really important for you to get this book right now, consume it right now, and implement it in your life right now. Because in a couple of months' time, with the rate and the pace at which technology is evolving, this book could be totally out the window. So go and get it now, read it now, listen to it now, and implement this in your life. This book will make you a better negotiator and salesperson. Nathan Latka may be one of the best salespeople on the planet. Seriously. You don't get deals like he does at his age. This guy is I think he's in his mid-20s now. So he knows his stuff. He knows how to handle a negotiation. And in this book, he will give you a deep dive into exactly how he was able to close these big deals. You learn how to leverage fear to get what he wants and the unique psychology that makes other people want to work with him. You will learn how to invest in real estate and live rent-free. Now, Nathan knew one of the biggest barriers to starting or buying a business for people is about having access to funds to get it done. Unlike most authors who might give it a nod and talk about pinching pennies and clipping coupons, Nathan said, "What if I was able to erase your biggest cost every month and turn it into an asset?" So he shows you exactly how he invests in real estate and is able to live rent-free by leveraging tools like Airbnb. How he got paid to buy a company that makes him $6,000 a month in passive income. Now, I'm an MBA. I've learned how to run a company, and I've never learned something like this. Now, Nathan shows you exactly how to buy a business, even if you don't have a lot of cash to spend. Plus, he goes in depth on unique advantages you unlock by buying. For example, you're not starting this business from scratch. There's already an audience, there's already cash flow. His explanation of how to do this is pure gold. But honestly, if you take nothing else from this book, reading this section on how he got a company to pay him $15,000 to buy their business, which will make him back 1,000 times your investment. The negotiation tactics and insight he shares in this section are mind-blowing. It's a simple strategy. I found myself so fascinated and envious that I haven't never thought about it. How to become a capitalist without any capital is the playbook that you need to succeed in this new digital economy. Now, the rules of the old economy are just outdated. They are simply broken. For example, to get a university degree used to be one of the smartest decisions you could make. But today, it's not even relevant. Today, many of us graduate wondering what the hell did we just do for 4 years of our lives? And we're in $100,000+ in student loans. But the reality is, in the economy that we're in, which is changing, the scripts we're following haven't been updated in decades. Until now, until this book, Nathan lays out the 4 rules of the new economy, and he's uniquely qualified to do it. At 19, he dropped out of school and started a software company with $119 in his bank account. 5 years later, that very company is worth over $10.5 million. Now, he didn't get there by following the traditional life path. He did it by turning old ideas on their head and following a few simple rules of the new economy. And the best part is, Nathan Latka employed his previous university professors to work for him. I mean, how sweet is that? So if you are sick and tired of the old way of doing things, it's time to forget your grandfather's advice and learn how to succeed in the modern world. This book will teach you how to ruthlessly cut expenses. Now, it's easy for experts to dump a bunch of strategies for growing your income on your lap, but it's another to say, hey, don't just grow your income. Let's slash your expenses down to near zero so that you have even more money to pour into your investments and business ideas. Now, it's something entirely different to say, let me show you exactly how to cut back on your expenses while still letting you enjoy the luxuries of life, like a $4,000 designer jacket and driving a Rolls Royce. Nathan has a unique strategy that allows you to have these things without having to pay for them. It requires some creativity and a new way of thinking about costs, but it will save you tens of thousands of dollars. And I've actually implemented some of these cost cutting ideas for myself. Now, I'm in South Africa, and obviously the currencies are a little bit different around the world, but I was able to slash around, let's say, about $800 from my budget. And it's been amazing just following the strategies that I found in Nathan Latka's book. For this book, it will help you to become more productive. When you see the screenshot of Nathan's calendar in this book, your first reaction might be, this guy is a freak of nature. How can he possibly do all of these things? But it's not because he just works night and day and burns the candle at both ends. It's because he's gotten insanely clear on systems that drive his biggest outcomes. This man is completely systems driven, and he lays out his entire system and gives you these templates in the book. This book will show you how to get paid to stay in insanely luxurious hotels. Now, wouldn't it be awesome if you could live like a king and never pay for it? Well, Nathan has uncovered some powerful strategies that will allow you to do just that. For example, he spent 45 days traveling in Asia and spent almost no money doing it. How to do that? Turn to page 101 of this book to find out. And just so you know, this isn't about signing up for a loyalty program or anything like that. It's about leveraging a very unique strategy that I have never seen anyone talk about until this book. Finally, this book will inspire you to take massive action. I can't think of a better investment of your time and money than this book. Not because of all the reasons I discussed, but because this book really makes you want to take action. I mean, you'll read it again because on the second or third time, you'll come across ideas that you didn't pick up the first time. So I don't know about you, but I have tons of books at home. It's sitting around in the shelf. It's gathering dust, mainly because they weren't actionable. And this is a book that's actionable. It's a complete playbook, complete with templates, systems, and processes that you can implement almost immediately and see those results. This book is unlike anything you've ever read, and I want to give it to you for free. So click on the link on the show notes. Get a free 30-day trial of Amazon's Audible, and you can download two books for free. And make sure Nathan Latka's How to Be a Capitalist Without Any Capital is on those free downloads that you do download. All right, so go to the show notes, click on that link, and I'll talk to you next time on the Digital Marketing Masters.